Hello and welcome to the Network Ethical Hacking course for beginners. My name is Hamza Sheikh and I'll be your instructor for the entire course. I am an ethical hacker, operating system engineer, network engineer, and I work as a head of IT department. I have prepared this course for beginners who want to learn the network ethical hacking, and through this course, we are going to use many tools and techniques. We will start with Kali Linux history, then we'll speak about Kali Linux file structure. We will download and install the required software and operating systems. Then we'll start solving the issues related to the operating system just to make sure our penetration testing lab is ready and up and running. Then I'll start showing you some comments just to get comfortable with Kali and to start being familiar with this new environment. Then we'll start hacking and cracking into Wi-Fi networks. We'll start with WEP network and I'll show you how to crack the password easily. I'll show you how to get the password of WPA and WPA2 networks. Then I'm going to show you some tools and techniques to use to crack the passwords and to do attacks on the closed Wi-Fi networks around you. Then we'll start talking about how to discover the connected clients on the network after hacking into it, and then you can discover the open ports on the connected devices. And I will show you how to install Windows 10 as a virtual machine to try your attacks on, just to be able to attack the latest operating systems. Then I'll show you how to do man-in-the-middle attack just to start sniffing the traffic between the router and the end user or the PC. Then I'll show you how to do DNS spoofing attack to change the requested DNS to any domain you like through Kali Linux web service. After that, I'm going to show you how to start generating your own backdoors, your own viruses, and through this backdoor you can gain access to any PC within seconds. And I'm going to show you how to spoof the extension of this backdoor just to make the backdoor looks like it's a document or a JPG file. After that, I'll explain to you how to protect yourself against all the above mentioned attacks, just to know how hackers think and to be able to keep yourself protected. This course will be considered as an entry course, and after that you can start diving more into the advanced tools and advanced techniques into Kali Linux. It will be an interesting course, and for beginners it will be an excellent start. So hope you enjoy this course, and I will be always there for your questions, and I'll be always there to help. Thank you and hope you'll enjoy this course. Hello everyone. Before starting the Kali Linux preparation and before start preparing Kali Linux to be used as penetration testing, I'd like to speak a little about Kali Linux history. To start with Kali Linux history, we should speak about Unix history. In 1964, Bell Labs, General Electric, and MIT Institute started Multics operating system. This operating system was written in assembly language. Assembly, it's a very low-level language. The performance was bad and it was just a poor operating system. After Multics, in 1969, B language appeared. It was developed only by Bell Labs, and Bell Labs decided to develop a B language. B language started in 1969. It was a restructure of Multics operating system just to be written in B language instead of the assembly language. They call it Unix. After that, in 1972, C language appeared, and sometimes they call the C language K and R, referring to Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, who developed this language. Bell Labs as well used C language to write Unix. this time with X, Unix. After that, A research group in California University in 1977 started their own operating system. They call it PSD, Berkeley Software Distribution, that was written in C language. After that, Bell Labs decided to convert the Unix software license to a non-free. So they wrote their NDA license, non-distribution agreement, and they converted their Unix license from free open source or free source code to a non-free source code. And just for your knowledge, at that time, the license cost was $150,000, so it was not available for end users or for small companies. So many companies bought Unix and made their own operating systems, such as Sun, they made Solaris operating system, IBM, they made the AIX, and HP developed the HP Unix. In 1984, GNU operating system was developed. GNU was the abbreviation to GNU's not Unix. This was developed by Richard Stallman. The main idea for this was to make the source code for free. So Richard Stallman has founded the Free Software Foundation, FSF, and he wrote the general public license just to protect his source code. So GNU operating system was a collection of applications, libraries, and even games. Richard Stallman failed to develop a kernel for his OS, and he was working on developing a kernel. After 3 years, in 1987, Minix operating system started. Minix refers to Mini Unix by Andre Tenenbaum. It was for educational purposes and universities. Minix OS was a clone of Unix, but it was having different characteristics. In 1991, a Finnish student, his name is Linus Torvalds, started developing a kernel. That kernel, he called it Linux. It was different from Unix by being multitasking, multi-user, where Unix it was multi-user but single tasking or single task system. When Richard Stallman saw the Linux, he decided to stop developing his own kernel and he used Linux to replace the kernel he was developing. That's why they call Linux the GNU Linux or GNU/Linux. Many companies start using GNU Linux, such as Debian, which started in 1993, and our Kali Linux is from Debian family, and its development process started in 2012 and released in 2013 by Offensive Security. Hello everyone. In this lecture I'm gonna illustrate about the Kali Linux file system hierarchy. I don't want to spend much time here. I know everyone is waiting to start the comments and attacks and preparing the environment for doing cool stuff. But it's very important to understand the file system hierarchy, because while doing our attacks and installing our third-party applications, we will need to know and understand the file hierarchy system. So Kali Linux is similar to different Linux distributions, so it's just consistent with the file hierarchy system, which means if any other user who's using other distribution of Linux, he will be comfortable just while using the Kali Linux. So the top level folder called root, and its symbol is /, and under the root folder all the file system folders are there. So let's start one by one. First one is bin. Bin means the binary files. Binary files which means the basic programs and basic commands which we are going to use in our practical lab, like changing password, running different commands, and so on. The second folder is the boot folder. This one, from its name, it includes the boot files as well as the kernel. The DEV, it contains all the device files. The ETC folder, it includes all the configuration files. Home includes all the user's personal files except the root, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. LIB, it's the libraries. Libraries are similar to the DLL files in Windows. Many commands will call each other through libraries. Next, the media folder. This media folder, whenever we mount any removable device such as the CD-ROM, USB, and so on, the files will be included in this folder. MNT, it will include the temporary mount points for the removable media devices. OPT files include all the third-party applications. Next is the root folder. It has the administrator's root personal files. Run, it has the volatile runtime data, and normally those files will not persist across the reboots. The official Kali Linux, they are telling this is not yet included in the file hierarchy system. SBIN, the normal users will use the commands or system programs which is in binary normal folder, bin. SBIN will be used by the root administrator user. SRV, it's the data used by servers hosted in the system. TMB, from the name, temporary files. Normally the temporary files are created while running any application, and most of the time once we close the application, the temporary folder will be emptied. The USR folder, it has the applications, and under USR there is 3 subdivided folders. It's the bin, SBIN, LIB again. Those 3 folders are considered as a shortcuts for the main folders which I mentioned before. The next folder will be var. It's the variable data of services. Let's say we are running a web service or the HTTP service here. By the way, any service, it includes 2 parts, data and configuration. Data, it will be under the var folder, and the configuration files, it will be under the etc. In the next lecture, I'm gonna show you how to start the Kali Linux, and we'll start playing with the command line. Hello again. In this lecture, I'm gonna show you how to prepare the penetration testing lab, what are the required software, how to install them, and how to configure them. Let's start with VirtualBox application installation. If you go to Chrome and write VirtualBox, you can click on Oracle VM VirtualBox. You can choose downloads. Then, according to your platform package, whether it's Windows, OS X, Linux, Solaris hosts. For me, it's Windows host. So when you click, it will start the download. Additionally, what you will need is the VM VirtualBox extension packet. If you click here also, one click, the download will start immediately. So I'm gonna pause the video, then we'll proceed. The download is finished. In downloads folder, we're gonna see two files. One is the VirtualBox and one is the extension pack. Double click the VirtualBox, run. It will be a normal installation, just next using the default options. Next, yes, install. So as I said, just we need two things: the VirtualBox and the Kali Linux operating system image, and our lab will be ready. Click yes. The installation is very easy. Both the VirtualBox and Kali Linux are free, so no need to worry about purchasing anything. I'm gonna show you the installation step by step, just for beginners to understand the steps step by step. Completing the installation of VirtualBox, just double click on the extension pack to install it. Click install, scroll down to get I agree button enabled, click yes, and that's it. Now our VirtualBox is ready. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to install the Kali Linux image and import it to VirtualBox Manager. Hello everyone. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to download Kali Linux operating system and how to import it to VirtualBox application. So what you need to do is you need to go to Google browser, just write download Kali Linux, click on the official website. What we need to download here, we need to download the image related to the VirtualBox. So this is the normal Kali Linux operating system files. What we need to download is the Kali Linux for VirtualBox. So according to your system again, whether it's 64 or 32, and to know that for sure, just you need to right click on my computer properties, and you can see your system type, whether it's 64 operating system, 64-bit or 32. For me it's 64-bit, so I'm going to click here, Offensive Security VM download page, and this will move me to a different page to download the Kali Linux. So just I need to go here again. I don't want the VMware, I need the VirtualBox here, this one, this tab. So this one, VirtualBox 64-bit, and the version is 2020.1, and the size is 3.1 GB. You can take one click on the name of the Kali Linux image to download it, or you can download the torrent file. For me, I'll just click here and the download will start. So 3.1 GB, it's a huge file. I'm gonna pause the video until it finishes, then I'll proceed. Okay, after we finish downloading the Kali Linux image, we will find Kali Linux file here in downloads. What we need to do is we need to go to the VirtualBox on desktop and try to import it. But before importing that one, just as an advice, I always don't recommend to keep the files in C drive or under downloads. What I prefer is always to take it to D drive and create your own space for work. So you can just copy paste it here or cut it, whatever you like. just please don't keep it in downloads. For time being, I'm gonna keep it here just for practice. Okay, then we'll go to VirtualBox Manager, click on Import, and we'll choose the file directory. Just click Next. Those are the default options while importing the Kali Linux 2020.1 file. I'm gonna just proceed normally. We're going to face an error here, and that's why I want you to see how to overcome this issue or error. If I click Import and keeping everything as is, click Agree, then it will start importing the virtual disk, and it will throw one error where I'm gonna show you how to solve it. It's very important to make sure the Kali Linux image is imported successfully to the VirtualBox, otherwise we cannot proceed, you know. So this is our main operating system where we are going to do all our attacks, hacking practice, and all the hard work. So we need to make sure it's working properly. Okay, this is the error. If you search this error on the internet, some people will tell you to uncheck the USB controller here, and some of them just will tell different options. The easiest way to solve this, for me, if you uncheck the USB controller, it's not going to work. So let me show you how to solve this issue in the next lecture. Hello everyone. So to solve this error while importing the Kali Linux image to VirtualBox, what we need to do, the idea is we need to decompress the image file to get the virtual disk file. Then we are going to create a virtual machine from scratch in the VirtualBox application, and I will show you that step by step. Then we will import the virtual hard disk from the decompressed image to the newly created virtual machine, and it will work fine. So I close this and then go to the downloads, this one. If you have the normal WinRAR application, this doesn't support the OVA file or the OVA extensions. OVA means Open Virtual Appliance. So this needs a special compressing application to be able to decompress it. That application called 7Z, and I'm going to show you how to download it and use it. Go to Google Chrome again, just type 7Z, this one, 7zip, and choose the one suitable for your system, whether it's 32 and 64-bit. For me it's 64-bit, and it will start downloading. It's very small application, it's just 1 MB size. After the download is completed, just one click, choose yes, install, and that's it. Now if you go back to the download folder, right click on the OVA file, the Kali Linux image, choose 7zip, extract here. Just you need to monitor this compressed size until it reaches 3 GB, and then the decompress process will be finished. Even if you got this unexpected end of data, that's fine, there is no issue. And if you noticed here, it was only OVA file. Now we have OVF and VMDK, and this is the virtual machine disk format which we are searching for. Once this is completed, it should be 33143. Just we need to click close, and we'll go again to the VirtualBox and create a new machine. Just give any name, your name or Linux name or anything. Choose the directory which you want to save this virtual machine. Here we are now creating a virtual machine. So as I said, I always prefer to keep it in any drive other than C drive. The type it's Linux. We have many others, and the version is DPN 64-bit. For me it's 64-bit, for you it may be 32. So I'll choose 64, I'll change it, I put it in D, next. Just choose 2 GB, 1 GB, as you wish. My recommendation is to have 2 GB RAM, 2048 MB. For the hard disk, we need to attach the VMDK file which we decompress from the OVA file. So just use an existing virtual hard disk file, click here, add, just select your file, press open, choose and create. And now our virtual machine is ready and that error has gone. If we click start, our virtual machine should start normally and our Linux operating system should also start. Hello everyone, today we will start our Kali Linux. As we said, from Oracle VM VirtualBox, we'll just click start. But before clicking start, just let's review our specs of our virtual machine. If we go to settings, in the general tab, you can see the version. Our Linux is from Debian family. If you go to advanced, if you want to copy anything from your host machine to the virtual host, just you need to choose the shared clipboard to be bidirectional, to be from the host machine to VM and from VM to the host machine. Again, for the drag and drop, you can use bidirectional. Also, there is three options. You can choose what you like. This is my recommendation. In the system tab, here you can modify the memory. For me, I choose 2 GB out of 8. You can choose whatever you like, and you can change the boot order for later use. Regarding the processor, here I choose only one. If you have a strong processor, you can use 2. It will be much faster and the performance will be much better. And display, storage and all other stuff, you may need it, but the main 3 tabs for us will be the network, system and general. Regarding the network tab, we will talk about this after we run the Kali Linux, just to see the difference. If we click on start now, what you need to do in the boot process, you need just to wait. Don't click anything, don't choose anything, even if you got a screen or a dialog box asking you to enter the username or password or anything. Just wait until you get a screen asking you for username and password of Kali. No need to enter anything here. Just I'm trying to go step by step. I may be a little slow, but for beginners and for users whom didn't use the Linux before, just to be comfortable. Now in this screen, just enter the Kali and the same Kali. By the way, for the previous versions of Kali Linux, the default user was root. and the password was tour. The password, okay, tour. But in the latest version of Kali Linux, they make it Kali. Just because root user, it is, as we said before, it's the administrator user. It has the highest privilege. It can do anything, many things in the system. So for beginners, always it's recommended to use Kali, but I will show you how to move the user to root user to be able to use the command line freely and smoothly and without any issue. So this is the Kali desktop, the default Kali 2020. Here is the start menu, which includes the attacking tools and the assessment tools and all the stuff we are going to use. The first thing we need to do is to update our Kali Linux and make sure it's up to date before using it. So to do that, we need to make sure internet is there. If we click on web browser, and let's say we'll try to go to Google or Bing or any website. So what we can see here, internet is there. Since internet is there, we need to go to our command line. By the way, we can access it from here or from here, or you can just write terminal if you couldn't find it in both places, and you will get it here. So the first command we need to write update. As we can see here, it's showing permission denied because the Kali user doesn't have the highest privilege, as we said. So we need to use the root user to perform the update. So we can write sudo s, and it will ask us to enter our Kali Linux. It's Kali, the same. So now we are using root. Before we were using Kali, now we are using root. So apt-get update. It will start updating the Kali Linux machine, and that will not take long time. It will be according to your internet speed. Okay, it's done. The next thing we need to do is to upgrade all the libraries and batches and packages of the Kali Linux by writing this command: apt-get test upgrade. Just press Y, enter. This will take longer time. See here, it's about 1.3 GB. So until it finishes, we can have some comments to learn. First thing, just to know which user you are using, just you can write who am I, and it will show Kali. And you can write host name to get the computer name you are using. Okay, so if you were using root and wrote who am I, it will show root, but host name, the machine name, is Kali. Previously as well, we have talked about the file system hierarchy. We said under slash there is many subfolders like bin, boot, devices, etc. for configuration, home for users' personal files, media, mount, and so on. So here, if you go to Kali, this is the personal files of the Kali user. So now if we want to change the password of the current Kali user, because everyone knows the default one, just what we need to do is, first of all, we need to make sure we are using sudo s, just use the user. By the way, sudo means super user do, just to get the highest privilege of that user. So we'll use pass wd, asking for new password. Just we can write whatever we like, retype, password updated successfully. In the next lecture, we're gonna proceed with our command line commands, just to get comfortable with Linux. Hello again. We are proceeding for the upgrade of Kali Linux. So while the upgrade is running, you will reach to this stage where it will stop here. Just you need to press the down arrow key. Just keep pressing down. Then press Q. It will proceed the upgrade process. Again, it will take a long time. While the upgrade process is running, you're gonna get this message. It's just informing you that some servers are gonna restart while the upgrade process is going on. So just choose OK and restart services during the package upgrade without asking yes, just to avoid the interruption of the upgrade process. I'm gonna pause the video again. Okay, now the upgrade process has finished. Okay, I have prepared some comments to start with. We'll start with WD, where we are under Kali and Kali is under home. LS means list, to list all the folders and files inside the working directory. If we choose ls-l, it will list all the files and folders with more details. ls-a, it will list all the folders and files, including the hidden files, which start with dot. This, for example. Now, if we want to use ls command with more than one option, so instead of writing -l, -a, we can just write ls-la. It will give the same output. So if we see here, ls-l-a gave this, ls-la gave the same output. Okay, next, if we write ls all, whenever we want to write a word in Linux, we need to use 2 hyphens. Otherwise, if we use only 1 hyphen, the system will consider A as option, L as option, and L as option. So ls -all means also LSA, the same thing. Now, if we want to see all the options for any command, we can write man and the command itself. Man means manual. So here it will show us that the name ls, it's the list directory contents, and how to use it is ls option and file. Here is the description. You can use a or all, it's the same. Capital A with almost all, it's the same. So just you can have a look. I don't want to spend much time on this. You can press Q just to get out. CD command, just to move to a directory. Let's say we said ls here. There is these documents. I want to move to downloads. CD downloads. Now we are under downloads. If we go back, cd dot dot, cd space dot dot. Now if I write cd downloads, it will not work because it's case sensitive. So D should be capital, downloads. Okay. If I wrote cd slash, that means root, it should take me to the root folder. As we said, root is the highest level folder. ls now, it will show us all the folders under the root folder. Another folder which is under root I didn't speak about last time, it's lost and found. By the way, if you deleted anything in Linux, there is no way to recover it, but you can move it to the lost and found folder. Okay, let's proceed. Now we have Alt, Control, and with function keys F1, F2, F3. If we use Alt, if we don't want to use the desktop at all, just we want to use the command line, we can press Alt, Control, F1. It will take us to the terminal number 1. Then we can put the Kali login, Kali, and the password, the one we already changed. So we'll have the same command line. Okay. If you want to get another terminal, type 2, Alt, Control, F2, and you can notice here the numbers changed, DT2. Okay, then Alt, Control, F3, F4, F5, F6. We have 6 terminal types. If we press Alt, Control, F7, we'll go back to the desktop. Clear, it will clear the text. Exit, it will exit the terminal. Now if we write ipconfig here, it will tell us command not found, because it's ifconfig. It's similar to the ipconfig in Windows, but here it's telling us command not found because we are not using the highest privileged user. So as we said before, we have to go to sudo -s. We'll write the password for Kali. If we write ifconfig, we can see that we have one Ethernet port, which is this IP and this subnet mask, and we have a local loopback interface. Okay, so just to get rid of this headache every time we have to move to root, I'm gonna show you how to reset the password for root, just to be able to use root user instead of Kali user. So what you need to do is just password passwd root, and this will reset the password for root user. So passwd is used to reset the password for any user. Let's choose any password. Again, we have to retype, and that's it. So now if we log out from here, log out, it will ask us for the username and password. We can write root and the password which we have reset it now, and that's it. Now we'll be able to use any command without any issue, and we will avoid all this permission issues and command not found and all this stuff. So if we go to this one now, it will show us root at the hostname. So if we write here ifconfig, so immediately no need to do sudo or sudo -s and those stuff. In the next lecture, I'm gonna show you how to start the pre-attack phase and the comments related to that. Hello everyone. In this lecture, I would like to explain to you how does the Wi-Fi network works before talking about the Airodump-ng in advanced way. So, as you know, your wireless device, whether it's a laptop, a tablet, or whatever, is using a wireless adapter inside. That adapter will translate the data into a radio signals and transmit it using the antenna. Those radio waves will go out from the antenna and will be received by your wireless router. Then the wireless router will convert the radio waves into a data and then sends this data back to the internet, and vice versa. The Wi-Fi is transmitted at 2 frequencies. It's 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Hello everyone, hello again. Hope you are doing well. Today we will start our practical lab. Just a small reminder, this course is an ethical hacking course, and I kindly request everyone not to misuse the things which you are going to learn. So let's be the white hat hackers, not the gray, not the black ones. Okay, so we will log in with root user. I showed you in the last lecture how to reset the password for root user. After login, we will learn today how to discover the Wi-Fi networks around us. For that, we need an external Wi-Fi adapter, and we need to connect that to USB. I'll put a picture for the adapter I'm using. After connecting the external Wi-Fi adapter, just go to Devices, USB, and make sure it's recognized or connected from here. To discover the Wi-Fi networks around us, we need to use Airodump-ng command, but before that we need to make sure our Wi-Fi adapter is recognized by Kali Linux. So for that we need to write iwconfig, and we can see it's WLAN 0 and its mode is managed. To be able to discover the Wi-Fi networks around us, we need to make sure this mode is monitor. To change it, we need to make sure the adapter is down first. Then we can write iwconfig WLAN 0 mode monitor. Then we can make it up. Okay, now it's up. We can write Airodump-ng and the name of our wireless adapter. Here you should start finding the Wi-Fi networks around you. If you couldn't find anything, I'll show you what to do. I'm working live and recording the screen live just to let you know how to avoid these issues, how to correct these mistakes to be able to do your attacks. So if no Wi-Fi networks appeared, what you need to do, you need to wait a little. If still the same, no results, just press Ctrl C to cancel this. Then restart the network manager service like that. Restart. Then do the same. ifconfig WLAN 0 down. If you don't want to write again, just press the up and down arrows and it will show you the same comments. Okay. Then make the adapter up. I might be a little slow, just I want everyone to understand the steps and to be able to do it. Okay, let's do Airodump-ng again now. If it didn't work, we can just restart one time. I just don't want to cut any part of the screen recording just for you to be able to achieve what we are planning to do. I'll disconnect physically also the adapter and reconnect it. Okay, root again and the password. We'll go to the command line. Okay, iwconfig, it's not there. Devices, USB, let's check it. iwconfig, still not there. iwconfig, it may take a little time. Yes, it's there now. Let's do the same. ifconfig, let's make it down first. Monitor mode, let's make it up. Let's check if it become a monitor mode. Yes, it's a monitor mode now. Let's start let's try Airodump-ng again. If nothing happened again, let's split the terminal horizontally. We can write another comment, the message, just to see what's going on. If you see this device WLAN 0 entered promiscuous mode, so it should be fine. Okay, we can exit this one, can collapse. Let's try again. iwconfig, monitor mode, Airodump-ng, WLAN 0, it should work fine. Okay, let's reset the network adapter. Still monitor mode. Let's try again. Down. Monitor mode. Up. By the way, this issue is very common. Many users face it, and just I wanted to record it for you to know how to overcome this issue. See now, after resetting the adapter 2-3 times, 4 times, it will respond. This issue as well is related to the quality of the wireless adapter. Sometimes the adapters will not be compatible with your hardware. That's why you need to do this. Just you need to make sure it's connected to your device and you have the correct driver. So I'm gonna stop the video now, and in the next lecture I'm gonna explain about these things appeared after running the Airodump-ng command. To make sure that Airodump-ng will work fine with you, I'm gonna show you another way to make this tool work fine. As I have told you before, my external wireless adapter, it's from Ralink company, and to get that just write airmon-ng. So the chipset of my wireless adapter, it's from Ralink technology, and for that, just to make sure the adapter is having all drivers installed, you need to write apt get install firmware Ralink. So for you, if it's something different, just you need to find the correct name for your adapter. Okay, then we can write ifconfig as we have seen in the previous lecture. We'll make it down. Then iwconfig WLAN 0 mode monitor monitor. Then we'll make it up. If we check now, iwconfig alone, yes, the mode become monitor. Now we can write Airodump-ng and the wireless adapter name. Okay, here we go.
Hello everyone. Today I'd like to show you how to change your external wireless adapter from managed mode to the monitor mode to start your wireless practice. First thing, what you need to do, you need to go to devices, USB settings, and you need to make sure to add your wireless adapter here. Just click this and make sure this is added. So my wireless adapter's chipset is from Ralink. It's different maybe for you, maybe you are using TP-Link or any other brand. just choose it here and click OK. Then to make sure to know what's your chipset, just write Airodump-ng, enter. So mine is Ralink. For you, you will come to know what is it. Then make sure from devices, USB, make sure this tick mark is here. Okay, then what you can do is you can start with Airodump-ng, check kill. This command will kill any process, interfere or disturb the work of monitor mode of the wireless adapter. Press enter and it will list the killed processes. We have one process killed, and the network manager here also will be killed and disabled. After this, just write iwconfig to see what's your wireless adapter name. Normally it will be WLAN 0 and it will be in default mode, in the managed mode. Then you can write ifconfig and the name of the wireless adapter, then make it down, enter. Then you can write iwconfig, again WLAN 0 mode monitor, enter. Then you can write again ifconfig WLAN 0 and make the adapter up. This is one of the methods. Then if you check again iwconfig, you can find this. It was managed and now it is monitor. Another way what you can do, if we just disconnect this from here and reconnect it back, okay, connected. If we write iwconfig, again it's in managed mode. What you can do, just write Airodump-ng, check kill, the same command, then Airodump-ng start WLAN 0. If you do this, it will change the name from WLAN 0 to WLAN 0 mon, where if you write iwconfig here, you will find WLAN 0. Both ways it will work, but what I prefer, just to work fine, after you do Airodump-ng check kill, and after you write Airodump-ng start WLAN 0, just do ifconfig WLAN 0 down. Sorry, you have to write the new name, WLAN 0 mon, ifconfig WLAN 0 mon down, enter. Then iwconfig WLAN 0 mon mode monitor, then ifconfig WLAN 0 up. Now if you check iwconfig, it will become in the monitor mode.
So if we started from the SSID, this is the name of the wireless network or of the Wi-Fi network, as you can see in your normal connectivity in Windows here. So this is my network I'm using. It's data underscore, this is the one. The BSSID, I'm gonna press Ctrl C just to stop this, to explain a little about this. The BSSID here, it's the MAC address of the Wi-Fi network. This is mine and this is for the networks around us. As you know, the MAC address is the physical address of the network device. The power, this is the strength of the signal of the Wi-Fi. The highest number means better signal. So in this list, this is the best signal, which is my network. The beacons, these are the packets which every network will broadcast to tell that I'm here, to broadcast its existence, to tell other networks I am here, I'm using this channel, this speed and this encryption type and this cipher. So the data is the useful packets collected from this network. These are the packets collected in seconds. The CH is the channel where this network is working through. So this network is working through channel 11. This is working through channel 6. This through channel 1 and so on. The MB is the maximum speed the network can work on. ENC, it's the encryption. Every network has different encryption. This is WPA, this is WPA2. Regarding cipher, I'm gonna explain it later. Regarding authentication, there is many types. Currently what we can see, it's the pre-shared key. And here are the stations connected to different networks. For example, for data network, we have this device connected to this. If we compare this MAC address, it will be the same of this MAC address. So here will be the networks, and here the stations connected to those networks. What we have seen in this lecture is that we were able to discover the Wi-Fi networks around us without even knowing the password of the router or without even connecting to that one. So Airodump-ng tool can show us all the networks around us and the stations connected to those networks, even if we don't know the password and even if we are not connected to those networks. Okay, in the next lecture I'm gonna show you how to change your MAC address to start attacking those networks. Hello again. Today I'm going to show you how to get the hidden SSID for any network. If we run the Airodump-ng here, we are going to get those networks. My network connected in the Windows machine, data underscore, it's not showing here. After running Airodump-ng, just you need to wait a little and the name should appear either in the workstation side or the client side or in the Wi-Fi networks side. If it is a busy network, which means it has a lot of people working on it or it has a high traffic level, then the name should appear automatically. If it's not appearing, there is a manual way to force the name to appear. So let's wait a little to see if data underscore will appear or not. So I'm gonna open the YouTube in my mobile phone just to make it a little busy, the network, to see if anything will change. So if we can see here, this is the name of my network and this is the old name. I'm gonna just press Ctrl C. If we can see here, this is my network name and this is the old network name. If you compare this MAC address of this one, you can see it's here the same, which means this is the hidden name. So you can get the hidden name by this way. If there was no traffic going on this network and still it's hidden, I'm gonna show you how to find this manually. Hello again. Let me show you today how to change the MAC address for your external wireless adapter in the Kali Linux. So first of all, let's clear the screen. If you write ifconfig, you will not be able to see the WLAN 0. Just go to devices, USB, make sure this is ticked. Then write airmon ng. Okay. Write ifconfig. Now the current MAC address of WLAN 0 is Ether, and this is the MAC address. The MAC address consists of 12 digits in the hexadecimal, and to change that one, first of all we need to make the adapter down by writing fconfig as we know before, WLAN 0 down. Then we can write fconfig WLAN 0 hardware ether, this part which we want to change, and you can choose the MAC address you would like to keep. Just make sure to start with 00. So let's say 001122334455. These are 12 digits. Click enter. Config WLAN 0 up. We'll make the interface up. Then we can check fconfig again, and that you can see here is the MAC address is changed. What will happen once you restart the system? The MAC address will return back to its original. Just what we have done now, we have changed the MAC address and the memory. For some users, this MAC address, the new MAC address, will not be stable. It will be resetted automatically to the original one. To prevent the MAC address to go back to its original status by auto reset, what you need to do, you need to go to the network manager configuration file, and you need to edit that one like that. We'll go to etc. So on the road, etc. Network configuration or network manager. Network manager. Under that there is networkmanager.config, and here we need to write this. Just copy paste this to this file like that and save it. Save, and that's it. Now this will solve the issue. What you need to do after this, just you need to restart the network manager service. Just write service network manager restore. So after restarting that, now we can see it become the old one. Let me show you now after restarting the network manager. Now if we change the MAC address again, fconfig WLAN 0 hardware ether, then the MAC address we want, fconfig up, fconfig now to see the MAC address. This is the one. So even now if we restart the network manager service, it will remain the same. So let me do service network manager restart. Again fconfig. See? So this is how you change the MAC address. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to start attacking the networks. Hello again. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to perform the deauthentication attack to disconnect all the clients from any network. So first of all, let's run the Airodump-ng to discover the networks around us. And for sure, our wireless adapter should be working under the monitor mode. I will press Ctrl C here. So let's say I would like to do a deauthentication attack for this network, which is my network here. To perform the deauthentication attack, we will use AirPlay-ng, and to use that, let me show you the options related to this tool. AirPlay-ng --help or --help. So here, so the usage of this tool will be like that: AirPlay-ng, options, then the interface. Let's split this terminal vertically just to apply the things we need. First of all, we will write AirPlay-ng, then we will skip filter options, we will not use it now. We will go to replay options. So after writing AirPlay-ng, we will choose which SSID we are going to attack, which MAC address. So I'm going to put A here, -A, which means SSID, and in my case I want to attack this one. Ctrl-Shift-C to copy, Ctrl-Shift-V to paste. Then I want to choose the count. So if I went down here to choose the attack, I want to do the attack deauthentication attack. See here, I have to write deauth and the count. So let's write deauth. Let's say I want to send 1000 packets, and I'll show you now practically what does this mean. Then I have to specify the replay interface, and to see that, just I need to write wconfig, and this is WLAN 0 mon. In your case, maybe only WLAN 0. So let me write here WLAN 0 mon, enter. Sorry, it's WLAN 0 mon. So before performing this, I'll stop it now. Just I'll open YouTube here. So let's write anything. So this video here is working fine. And if I go back to the Kali Linux and run the attack again, we can see what will happen now. And we can see here it will show connected, but I will not be able to open any website as long as this is running. So let's say I want to open Google. So this is just here rounding again and again. If I want to open Bing, this what will happen for all connected clients to this network. They will not be able to get the internet as long as you are running this attack. So once I stop it, everything will work fine here after some time. And everything will become normal. So this is the attack where you can disconnect any user from any target client. Let me show you how to disconnect a specific user, not all the users. So if we run here, let me clear both screens. So if we run here Airodump-ng, Airodump-ng and our wireless adapter interface name. I'll press Ctrl C. So what we can see here, this is my network. I want to attack it. By the way, you can attack any network, not only this WEP. You can attack WPA2 the same way and it will work just fine. So here, this is my network and this is one of the stations connected to my network. So I don't want to disconnect all the clients, all the users connected to my router. Just I want to disconnect this specific user. So what I have to do here, let me write again here airplay ng --help. In the replay options, we have selected A for the access point MAC address, and now here we can select C for destination MAC address. We will run the same command here and we will choose C to specify the station I want to disconnect for this specific network. As we said, Ctrl Shift C and Ctrl Shift V for paste. Then we can run this attack. Now if we run this attack here without running Airodump-ng for this specific network, we will get a wrong channel. So we have to go here and run Airodump-ng for this network and specify channel 11 with our wireless LAN name. This command or this tool will not disconnect any clients or users. It will just show us an information about this network. So we will run it first and we just will make sure this is running on channel 11. Yes. Then we will run this command as is and it will take the correct channel. So here it will just disconnect this user regardless whether it's a PC, a tablet or mobile phone. Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to attack networks. We will start with WEP network, then WPA and WPA2. Before attacking anything, please let's upgrade our Kali Linux. As we learned previously, apt-get update. So always we need to use to update our Kali Linux when we log in. And if you would like to upgrade it as well, so you can write apt-get dist upgrade. I'll show you now, just to make sure you have the latest updated packages and updates. Okay, then we can write apt-get dist upgrade. Yes. This will take longer time. So I'm gonna pause the video until it finishes, then we'll proceed. So here it's asking us to press Q button, then it will proceed. I'm gonna pause it again until it finishes. So the upgrade process, it will start upgrading all the tools and applications. As you can see here, it's 3987.162 over 3987.132. Here it's nano 4911 over 481. Okay, now it's finished. Let's make sure our wireless adapter is connected. It's not connected. Okay, I wconfig again. Okay, now it's connected. We'll use one tool called wifite. This tool, it will start changing the wireless adapter to monitor mode automatically, like here. and it will start searching for Wi-Fi networks close by also automatically. So let's wait a little. So after waiting a little, here we can see all the networks start appearing. So let's say I want to target this lab 1 network where its encryption type is WEP and it works on channel 11. So what I need to do is I'll press Ctrl C for one time and wait a little. After that, it's asking me to select target or targets from 1 to 8, separated by commas or dashes or all. Just I want to write the number 1. It's lab 1. This is the network. This is my network, by the way. I'm connected to it on the Windows machine, but on Kali Linux I'm not connected to it. So I'll attack it without even connecting to it. So I'll choose 1. Then what will happen, see here, is doing fake authentication attack. It's trying to authenticate in a fake way to this network even without knowing the password. So when the tool is trying to do a fake authentication attack with the target network, we can press Ctrl C for one time just to show you how to do the authentication attack. Ctrl C one time. Then you can choose the first option, deauthenticate clients and try the attack, or you have another options. Through the process of the authentication attack, this tool will get the handshake which will be required to analyze the IVs or the good packets collected from the target network to get the password. So to get the Wi-Fi key, we need one important thing. It's the handshake, which we can get it through disconnecting all clients connected to the router through the authentication attack. So I'm going to choose the first option, 1, enter. Here, this tool sent 2 deauthentication attacks. This disconnection will be very minimal, where the clients or the user will not feel it. Then after this, it's trying to do a fake authentication with the router, and as we've seen before, this is my router MAC address. See, it's trying to do a fake authentication attack. This fake authentication attack will cheat the target router and it will authenticate with it as it's one of its users, and then it will start trying to crack the password. So if you find any WEP network around you, this tool is the easiest tool to crack the password. So if we wait a little now, we're gonna see how this tool is going to get the password. By the way, I have kept 13 digits password here. If you can see here now, this is the password or the hexa key, and this is the SSID, similar to mine. So I think it just took 5 to 7 minutes, maximum 10 minutes, and it will find the key, and I have kept the key here 13 digits, which is considered as a long key. Sometimes what will happen, this ASCII key here, it will not appear. So I'll show you how to connect to the Wi-Fi network, which you already crack it using this hex key. What you need to do is just you need to remove the colons from this number and use it as is instead of the password. So let's try to direct it to the network. So it's 31 without columns, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 30, 31, 32, 33. So just press OK, and that's it, connected. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you another way for cracking the WEP networks, and it will be a little longer than this. Hello again. In this lecture, after we have seen how to do the DOS attack, I'm going to show you how to hack the WEP networks in a manual way in case of the wifite tool doesn't work. So let's open the command line. Let's run Airodump-ng again. Okay, here we go. These are the networks around us. I'll press Ctrl C. This is the network I'm planning to attack, which is running under WEP encryption. As I have shown you before, we will do the attack specifically to this network. So we'll do Airodump-ng SSID. We'll specify this network, the channel, and before specifying the interface, just I want to write the data which this tool is going to collect in a file. Just I'll give it any name. Let's say lab 1, and I'll specify my interface, and I will run this tool. As we can see here, the data figures are very less. So to be able to hack the WEP network, you need to get a high number of IVs. The IVs are the initialization vectors, which is required for encryption. We'll use it here to crack the WEP key. So this is very less. So I will force this router to create more data packets. By the way, when you see this figure is less, that means this network is not a busy network, but we will force it to generate more data packets. So to do that, let's open another terminal. First of all, we'll do fake authentication to authenticate with this network. Currently we can see here there is only one station connected to this network, and now we will do fake authentication even if we don't know the password. So we will use AirPlay-ng as we have done before, but instead of B with fake authentication, fake auth, we will use A and the same MAC address here. And let me just remove this from here. And fake auth, we can give it just 0 delay. And we have to add here my MAC address. And as you know, to get my MAC address, you can write fconfig. This is my MAC address, and if you don't want to use this one, you can change it as we said before. So the first 12 digits, it's our MAC for our wireless adapter, which we are doing the attack through. I'm gonna keep it here. Then I will specify my wireless adapter name. Then press enter. So what you can see here is this is my MAC address, and it's with 1F. It's here, 1F, and it's connected to this network. The second thing, we will do AirPlay-ng, but instead of fake auth attack, we will do ARP replay attack. and here there's no number required, and instead of A we'll use B with the same MAC address and the same MAC address for my machine, and I'll press enter. So if you notice here in the data figures, it's 14372. The network was just waiting any user or any ARP packet to be sent to this network, and then you can see how fast this is generating and how fast this number is increasing. The highest number you get, the faster you can crack the key. So while both attacks are running, I'm gonna show you how to use Airodump-ng tool to analyze the file which we already write the output of this attack to it. Let's split the terminal and we'll write Airodump-ng, and it was lab 1, and Airodump-ng, it's just add 01 to the file name. Just it adds a serial number to each file it creates. .cap, enter, because I have done it before, so it's lab 102. And as we can see, this is the key. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 1 2 3, and here is the hex key as we have seen before in wifite. Hello again. After we learn how to hack WEP networks using the wifite tool, and after we've seen how to hack the same networks manually, I'd like to move forward to show you how to hack the WPA and WPA2. Here I'd like to speak about 3 points. WPA and WPA networks are almost the same, so whatever methods I'm going to show you, it will work for both networks. I'll start to show you how to hack the WPA and WPA networks using the WPS, the Wi-Fi protected setup. The Wi-Fi protected setup, it's a feature in the wireless router where it will help us to hack into any network we like if this feature is enabled. But this way will not work if PPC push button configuration is enabled in the WPS feature page. Let me show you my router. Okay. Connection settings. If we go here to the WPS settings, what we can see here, I have enabled it to show you how to hack this feature to get the key of the WPA and WPA2 networks. But for me, for my router, this PPC push button configuration is enabled, so there is no way to hack this WPS feature here. But for you, for some types of router, it's very easy if this feature is not enabled, so you can hack into this, because WPS, it's just 8 digits and you can hack any network has WPS settings enabled without PPC option enabled. So let me show you the method. So if we go to Kali Linux again, and we'll make sure our wireless adapter is working in monitor mode. Okay, it's working in monitor mode. So let's run Airodump-ng as usual for our interface. Okay, this is the network I'm planning to hack. I'll press Ctrl C, Hamza Lab, And to know if WPS feature is enabled here, I have to write wash I for interface and WLAN 0 mon. This command is going to show us all the networks with WPS enabled feature. Enter. So here it's showing me Hamza Lab. It has a WPS feature and its version is 2.0, and it's working under which channel, and this is the MAC address of the router. I'll press Ctrl C. So first of all, we have to do a fake authentication attack. As we learned before, we will write airplay ng, then fake auth, and we will define any number, let's say 20. After that, we will use A to specify the SSID. This is the one. Ctrl Shift C, and here Ctrl Shift V, and then we will specify our hardware address, which is MAC address. Let's get it from here, fconfig, and this is the one, as we said, the first 12 digits. Ctrl Shift C, Ctrl Shift V, and let's close this. Then what we need to decide is the interface. At the same time, let me sublet this vertically, we will do a reaver attack to crack the WPS key, and after that, after cracking the WPS key, we will get the Wi-Fi key automatically. So we'll write reaver, and as we know, --help, it will show us all the features. So what we are going to use here, we are going to use the PSSID, this one. These are the required arguments, B and I. B for the PSSID, I for the interface, and I'm gonna use C for the channel. So it's like this: reaver, interface, PSSID, and this VV. Okay, so let me write it here: reaver, then PSSID, and this is the one. Channel is C, channel 11 here. The interface, which is I, WLAN 0 mon, and VVV, and no associates, because already we are going to do a fake authentication attack, so we'll use this. So I will start with fake authentication, and at the same time I will run reaver. So if the PPC push button configuration enabled, there is no way for this way to work, but I just wanted to show you how to hack into the WPS, just to see the method and keep it in your mind, so you may need it one day. So if PPC was not enabled, after some time you are going to get the key, the WPS key and the Wi-Fi key, so you can get it and connect to this network. Hello again. In the previous lecture we have seen how to hack into WPA and WPA networks using WPS feature, the Wi-Fi protected setup. And in this lecture, I'd like to show you how to hack using a Wordlist and handshake. So, to hack into WPA and WPA2 networks, you need two things: a Wordlist and a handshake. The handshake, it's the 4 packets generated when any client connects to the network. The connecting process will generate this handshake. So I'm gonna show you how to get the handshake. And regarding the word list, if you Google it, there is many websites will provide you with a word list, and there is built-in word list in Kali Linux, and I'm gonna show you how to use it and how to find it and how to use both the handshake and word list to hack into WPA and WPA2. Let's start. We'll start by changing our adapter to monitor mode. Airodump-ng check kill, then Airodump-ng start WLAN 0, and now the name become WLAN 0 mon. Then we can write fconfig WLAN 0 mon down iwconfig WLAN 0 mode monitor. WLAN 0 mon mode monitor, then config WLAN 0 mon up. Actually, this process is not important, but for some adapters you need to do this 3 commands after you start the monitor mode by Airodump-ng. So let's start our attack against WPA and WPA networks using a handshake and a word list. Airodump-ng WLAN 0 mon. Okay, here we go. So I'm planning to attack this network as usual. My network, it's WPA2 and working under channel 11. So I'll press Ctrl C. First of all, to get the handshake, either I have to wait for someone to come and connect, then I'll get the handshake, or I need to do a deauthentication attack as we have seen previously. First of all, let's do Airodump-ng for this network. Channel 11, and let's write the output to a file called handshake. Okay, so we'll use the authentication attack with airplay-ng just to force one of the connected users to be disconnected and reconnect again to get the handshake. So DOF here, then A for the SSID, this one. I will not stop it because I'm writing that to a file, so I'm gonna write it here. 6B A6 8E FC, and one of the stations, let's say this one, 70 28 8B 0A 3B and 32, and then my interface. Sorry, I have missed here the packets to be sent. Let's say I want to send just 5 packets. Enter. So this user will be just disconnected and reconnected, and here is the handshake. So I'm gonna press Ctrl C here. Here is the handshake. So this is the first step of cracking the WPA and WPA2 networks. Let me show you the word list. As I have said before, you can get the word list from the internet. Many websites provide that. Or there is built-in word list called Rockio in Kali Linux. Let me show you its place. Just go to the file system. Under USR, share, word list. Wordlist, this one, Wordlists, ROQ. It will come as compressed. Just you need to right click, extract here, then you will get a text file. I'll copy this. Sorry, under root. Let me copy this under root here. Okay, so if I go now to this page and press ls to list everything, so I'll see the handshake, which I already got it, and the ROQ word list. So what I have to do here, let me clear the screen and collapse this. I need to use Airodump-ng as we learned before. Then we have to specify the name of the file which contains the handshake.cap, and -w to specify the word list. So this is pre-prepared word list. This is the command Airodump-ng. We have used this before to crack the WEP network. We will specify the handshake file and -w to specify the word list which we want to use, then enter. And here it's telling it needs 1 hour and 32 minutes to get the password. Yes, it's not easy to crack the WPA and WPA2 networks, just you need a good word list.
Hello again. In this lecture, I'd like to show you how to get the password of the WPA and WPA2 easily without any guessing or spending much time. For that, we need to use one tool called Fluxion. To download that, just you need to go to the web browser and write Fluxion Wi-Fi Analyzer. Then in the GitHub, as usual, just clone the link and in the command line under OPT write git clone and the link, enter. I have already done it just to save the time because it will take some time. After that, just write ls. You will find one folder called Fluxion here. If you go inside Fluxion, you will find one file called install. Sorry, one folder called install. Also go inside it. Under install, there is install.sh. Just install it. Enter. And that's it. It will take some time, then it will finish. After finishing, just go back to Fluxion folder again and run this file, fluxion.sh. Let's run it together. Enter. Here it's asking us to use which language. What we need to choose is the serial number. So let's choose 1. It's running Airodump-ng, but here it's showing the background of this page is white. Hope it's clear for you. So it will run Airodump-ng in the background. After you see your target network, let's say this is mine, just press Ctrl+C for one time. Then it will just present all the networks around you and it will ask you to choose one. Let's say my one which I'm planning to attack is this one, my network, and it's using the security as a WPA2. Its number is 13. let's choose 13. What this tool will do, it will do a deauthentication attack to disconnect all the users from the target network which you are targeting. And then it will create a fake access point with the same SSID just to cheat the users and force them to connect to this one without password. Then when they connect, it will show a web page asking them to enter the password to get the internet, and after entering the password on that web page, you are going to get it. So after running the Airodump-ng, let's run a fake access point. This is the recommended option. Let's run it. Then it's asking us, because already I have done it, it's asking us there is a handshake file in this place. I will just choose no, just to repeat again. So here it's telling me if you don't want to use this handshake, where is the handshake location? I will tell just enter to skip it, to search from beginning, from start. Now to get the handshake, we have two options, as we know before, the aircrack-ng or pirate. Let's choose pirate here. And to get the handshake, as we know before, just you need to disconnect all the users of the target network and then let them reconnect back by the authentication attack. Then you will get the handshake. Let's take all of them. So here is the handshake. Got it. After getting the handshake of this target network, then just press enter on the main screen and check the handshake. Number 1, yes, it's correct. Then we are going to create an SSL certificate, also number 1. Okay, now we are ready to attack. So select your option for the interface. Let's choose web interface. And here it's asking us whether we want the web page login, which it is going to appear for all the target users, in which language. So for me, I'll choose English again. Number 1. You have many languages. You have English, German, Arabic, and many others. So let's choose one. Then the attack will start. So now if you go and search for the networks, you will find another one with the same SSID, but it has no protection. If I connect to this network, see what will happen. After connecting to this, if I went to get the internet to any website, it will just forward me to another web page and see what it will ask me. For security reasons, enter the WPA key to access the internet. And normally if any user see this with the similar SSID, just he will enter the password normally. Just I'll put any password. Just I'll put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Let's say this is the password, and I will submit it. It will show. Then it will show another message to the user of the target network. Your connection will be restored in a few moments. And here, if we go back to the Kali machine, we can see the password has been captured and kept in this place under root hamzalab password.txt. If you close this one and go to root, hamzalab-password.txt, and this is the password which the user entered. So the target user, it may be a kid playing on the iPad or the tablet, or it may be any person inside the house who will see this message in the web page, and just he will enter the password to get the internet back, and you will gain the password of WPA or WPA2 easily. Hello everyone, hello again. Now since you have got the password and you have found your way to connect to the Wi-Fi network, now you become part of this network, and
First step here, you need to discover the clients or the other PCs or devices connected to this network. To do that, just open the command line and write net discover. Since you have got the password, before going to net discover, you have to connect to this network. Just go here, connect to the Wi-Fi network, to your network. Connect. Okay, so now you are a part of this network. If you write fconfig to know the IP range, you can find here in the ETH0, it's under the iNet, it's 192.168.8.103, and then it mask 255.255.255.0. 255.255.255.0, that means it's the range /24. Now we can use net discover tool -r and the same range, enter, and just you need to wait to know all the clients connected to this network. You need to be patient, and I'm not gonna stop or pause the video. Just I want to explain this to you in details, because this is the main to start your hacking attacks. Sometimes what will happen until this finish, if you go here, you will not find the Wi-Fi networks. So what you have to do, you have to go to your VirtualBox. You have to check two things. First of all, you have to make sure you have the latest extension pack installed for the Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager, and that you can check it from here, File, Preferences, Extensions, and this should be here. If it's not here, I have already explained how to install this in the installation of VirtualBox in the beginning of this course. You can just check it. And the second one is you need to go to settings to check the USB settings. Sometimes if it's 1 or 2 or 3, just try to change between this. Most of the time, if you change between 2 and 3, it will work. Just you need to power off the virtual machine, the Kali Linux, and try to choose 2, press OK. If this works, that's fine, well and good. Otherwise, you have to check 3. For me, I have tried 3 and it's working fine. Before checking 3, just make sure you have added your wireless adapter here and press OK. And that's it. So coming back to this list, it's showing us we have the router. Most of the time, the router will be 1, the same subnet and 192.168.8 for all clients. If I press Ctrl C here, for all clients it will be the same subnet, just the last number will change. So 1 mainly it will be for the router, and here it's showing us the manufacturer, it's Huawei or Huawei, and here we have another device connected, and this is its MAC address. Here we have another 2 devices connected. Okay, in the next lecture I'm gonna show you how to start sniffing data from those devices. Hello again. In the previous lecture we have seen how to use net discover to discover the connected clients through being a part of the target network. So as we said, here is Apple device, here is my Kali Linux machine, and here is my Windows PC, and here is the router. The next step of the scan, it will be to use another tool called Nmap to discover the open ports and the running services. And to run Nmap, just you need to write Nmap here. Let's start with --help or --help. First of all, the usage of nmap to put the scan type, then options, then target, IP or range or whatever. So to target a website, it will be like that. It is showing us examples here. So you can scan websites, you can scan single IP or a range or a full subnet. So let's start with host discovery. Let's say we'll start with -small l and capital L. This is for list scan. Simply list targets to scan. So nmap, small s, capital L, and our target. So let's say I will target the whole network or the whole subnet. Enter. Okay, here we go. So this is the whole subnet. These are the connected clients. If we notice here, it's telling us 0 hosts are up. Let's try another scan. Let's go back and map -help, host discovery. Let's try this time ping scan and map SN and the same subnet. Okay, here it's telling us, after we wrote this command, it's telling us there is one host called home router.cpe. This is its MAC address. There is another host, this is its IP and this is its MAC address. This is another host and this is its MAC address. Regarding all these details, you are going to use them later, and I'll show you how to use them in a smart way and how to get benefit of them. Here it's showing this device is Apple, and this is its MAC address, which is a very good information. So sometimes for some routers there will be a whitelist and blacklist if this MAC address was configured to be given access to this router, so I can just change my MAC address and connect easily. Let me show you my, if I go here, if I log in, connection settings, if I go to MAC filter, see here, select a MAC filtering mode from the filtering mode drop down list. Here we have disable, allow, deny. If it's allowed, then I will allow a client to access the network if the client's MAC address is in the MAC address list. So if, let's say, this MAC address for this Apple device was added here, so easily, as I have shown you before, I can change my MAC address to this one and I can get access to this network easily. This is one of the benefits or the usage of this tool. Let's take another scan. Let's go back to the help, discovery, okay, we have tried this and this. Let's take something else from scan techniques. Let's take the stealth mode here, SS. So small s, capital S, and let's change the range. Let's say I want to scan only 10 IPs. Here it starts scanning the ports. So let's say it's telling me this device, which its IP is 8.102, it has those ports opened. So this is 135 TCP open,
139.445 and so on. This is the MAC address, and for the rest the ports are closed. Later I'll show you how to use this information to gain access to this device and control it 100%. Let me show you another thing. Let's say I took this SS scan, this for the whole range. It will take time, so I can press enter and I'll see the performance percentage here. So it's telling this SYN stealth scan is going on. I can keep pressing enter to know the scan percentage completed. I'll just stop here. In the next lecture we're gonna discuss about the ARP poisoning attack and how to be the man in the middle just to start sniffing data from those connected devices.
Hello again. Before proceeding with the ARP attack and ARP spoof attacks and all this stuff, I'd like to install Windows 10 as a virtual machine to start doing all the attacks against Windows 10. So to install Windows 10 as a virtual for free, just go to this website, and I'm gonna keep this website in the resources, and you can choose Windows 10 with Legacy, Microsoft Edge and Internet Explorer, and we need to install it on VirtualBox. So just click on VirtualBox and it will start the installation. It's 6.7 GB. It will take some time. After it finish, just go to downloads. I have just copied it to the drive, so it will be compressed. So just right click, extract here. Okay, while extracting the file, this OVA file will be decompressed, and this is the virtual machine which we are going to use with our VirtualBox. So after it finished, just go to VirtualBox, File, Import, and select the decompressed file. Next. Here it's showing 4 GB, so I'll keep it as is just for time being, then we can modify it. Import. While the importing process, we will have this issue, and this error we have already solved it. So what we have to do, we need to go to the location of this OVA and go to the 7-zip application, extract here to get the VMDK file, which is the virtual hard disk file. This virtual hard disk will try to add it to our virtual machine, and you can follow the same steps. I have done it before with Kali Linux. So after this finishes, what you need to do is you need to go to the VirtualBox and click New, create a new virtual machine. Okay, here we go. After the compression ratio 100% and the compression size become 6919, we'll press close, and we can notice here the Windows 10.vmdk file has been created. So we'll go here, new, let's try it, Windows 10, and I'm gonna keep it in the drive. Next, I'll give it 2 GB as well. Here, use an existing virtual hard disk, which is the VMDK file. The same steps I have already done it, so I'll just do it a little faster. And here is the Windows 10 created. We'll click Start. Okay, here we go. So after we leave the installation to run by itself without touching it, we'll get this screen. If we didn't get it, we can go to the input keyboard to press Alt Control Delete, then we'll get this. And the password for this, it will be capital P ASSW0RD and exclamation mark, and I'll keep it in the resources as well. Then enter, and we'll have, and up to here we'll have Windows 10 ready. This is the login page, this is the login page, and this is the password, capital P ASSW0, this is 0 not O, 0RD exclamation mark. So just you need to change the configuration of the time, date, and all this stuff. And here it's telling us the license is valid for 90 days. What you should do to keep it as much as possible, just go to the VirtualBox and click here on this symbol, snapshots, and create one, and let's say call it fresh Windows 10 installation. And okay, that's it. So every time you feel the Windows is going to expire, you can just boot from this snapshot. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to start attacking this Windows 10 machine. Hello again. In the previous lectures, we have seen how to discover the connected devices and how to collect the information about the services and ports running. In this lecture, I'm going to explain to you how to be the man in the middle by doing an ARP attack or ARP attack. The man in the middle attack, it will keep you between the router and the end user or the endpoint, where any data is going to the router or coming from the router. It will be captured by you, and I will show you how to capture it, analyze it, and try to get the username and passwords and all this stuff from this traffic. Another thing, once you perform the ARP attack, you can cheat the end user by telling him I am the router and this is my MAC address, and you can cheat the router by telling him the specific device is mine, this is my MAC address. So let's see how to do it. If we go to Kali Linux again, we'll use one tool called Meterpreter. Meterpreter is not installed. Install Meterpreter. Yes. Okay. So let's run it. Meterpreter. Once this run, let's write help to see what's going on. Here it's showing us some modules. Each module, from its name, you can guess its task. So let's start with netprobe. So if I want to enable this, but just I'll take the name net.probe on, enter. This module, it will start detecting the connected devices to this network with its MAC address with the manufacturer, similar to NetDiscover or Nmap. But Meterpreter tool, it has much more advanced options. So if we press help again here, we can see this netprobe become on. Automatically, once we enable netprobe, netrecon, it will also be enabled. If we want to know more details about any module, just we will write help and the name of the module, net.probe. So here it's telling us keep probing for new hosts on the network, which this means if any new clients also connected, it will be auto discovered. So let's say I want to get ARP spoof. Here help arp.spoof. So here it's telling if you run this, you'll keep spoofing selected hosts on the network. So before doing this, before starting this spoofer, let me show you one thing. If I went to my PC machine and write, this is ipconfig, this is the IP of my PC, 8.102. If I type here ARP-A just to see the MAC address, if you notice here, the router IP address is 192.168.8.1, and this is its MAC. Let me keep the Kali and my PC here. So if we go back to the ARP.spoof module, before enabling this, just let's enable this parameter. If true, both the targets and the gateway will be attacked. In general, most of the routers will come without ARP spoofing protection. So let's just write it here, ARP, or we can copy again as well, Ctrl-Shift-C, Ctrl-Shift-V, just write true here. Sorry, we have to write set. We have to write set before that, then the parameter, and then true. Okay. Then let's write ARP.spoof. This is the name of the module, ARP.spoof, similar to this one. ARP.spoof, and then on, enter. As you can see here, if I wrote here ARP-A again, the router MAC address was 8EFB, was ending with this. After we run the ARP spoof attack, you can see here FADD5E. The MAC address has been changed to my Kali machine MAC address. So if I went here fconfig, enter, you can see DD5E here, this one. Okay, so anything will be sent from this network will be captured by my PC. In the next lecture, I'm gonna explain to you how to start capturing the usernames, passwords, and so on. Hello again. After installing the Windows 10, now we have the Kali Linux machine and Windows 10. Before start attacking the Windows 10 machine, I would like to show you how to configure the network settings in VirtualBox. Just go to File, Preferences, and make sure you have a NAT network created here by clicking this one. I already created, I'll show you how. Just click like that. Okay. Then go to each machine, select it, Settings, Network, and choose NAT network, and choose the NAT network you already chosen, and make sure this is Allow. Okay. Then we'll go to Windows 10 and do the same. Why we are doing this? Just to make sure both virtual machines are working on the same IP subnet. Then they can ping and reach each other. So now if I go to Windows 10 and Kali, let me check the IPs here. So it's 10.026, and here 10.0.215. Okay, so let's check the ARP table here. This is the one, and this is my MAC address here under Ether, ends with DD5E. So now if I start with Meterpreter, just write Meterpreter to start this tool. Okay, so it help to see all the running modules, and we will start with net probe just to discover all the connected devices. Net.probe on. If we press help again, as we said before, both will work together after making the net.probe module on. In order to see all the discovered clients, just we need to write net.show, enter. So it will show us an organized table showing us the IP, the MAC address, the name of the device or the interface, and the vendor, and the last scene. So this is our Windows 10 machine. Okay, so today I'm gonna explain to you how to start capturing the HTTP traffic. So if the target user was opening any website with HTTP, you can see all the traffic. You can capture the username, password, and all the traffic. So let's start. As I said before, to get the help for any of those modules, just you need to write help and the name. So help and arp.spoof, which is here. Enter. In the previous lecture, I have shown you how to enable this module, just to start the ARP spoofer. If you want to stop it, just you need to write off. And if you want to enable any of the parameters, just you need to write set before the parameter, and after that true, because the default value of this parameters is false. So to start sniffing the traffic, first of all we need to spoof the MAC address, and as I have said before, ARP spoof attack is just to make you the man in the middle between the router and the end user. So your Kali machine will tell the router, I am the end user, by spoofing the end user MAC address, and it will tell the end user, I am the router, by spoofing the router MAC address. So once we enable this, I'm going to show you the difference as I have shown you before, just to remember the concept. So let's start. Let's enable the parameter first. arp.spoof full duplex. True. And we need to put set here before, enter. Then we are going to attack our Windows 10 machine. So set ARP spoof target, and this is the IP of our target. So just we can copy paste, Ctrl Shift C, Ctrl Shift V, enter. Then we can enable this, enter. So now our spoofer started. This new MAC address came to this ARP table. Every machine has ARP table, and while running the ARP spoof attack, the MAC address in this table will be changed. It's my Kali machine MAC address. So after enabling the ARP spoof module, just we will write help to make sure it's running. Then we will start net.sniff module to start sniffing the traffic. So net.sniff on, enter. So now it start sniffing everything running from this machine. So let's say I'll go to Google, I'll open any HTTP website. Let's say I'll go to Weevil. So let's say I want to log in here. I will write any username and password. Let's say Hamza Sheikh123 login. For sure it will show its wrong username and password. So if I go back to Kali and I check whether it has captured the username and password, I can see here, yes, this user was trying to go to Weevil website, and this is the website here, and this is the username, and this is the password. So we have successfully captured the HTTP traffic, and anything running in the background from this machine also it will be captured. In the next lecture I'm gonna show you how to capture the HTTPS traffic.
Hello again. In the last lecture we have seen how to capture the HTTP traffic. In this lecture I'd like to show you how to capture the HTTPS traffic. So we'll use again the BetterCap tool. So just we need to write BetterCap in the command line, then it will show us the IP of our Kali machine. Then we'll start with help to see the modules. To start capturing the HTTPS traffic you need to use many modules. So let's start with ARP spoof here. So under this, last time we have used this, and this time we are going to use this as well, and this for targets. So let's enable them. Set. And we'll use true. Then the same for this. Set the same true. Then our target, let's say, is my PC or the Windows 10 PC. So let's say the Windows 10 here, IP config, it's 8103. Let's take another target, let's say this Windows 7 machine. IP config again, and 8102. Okay, then we will run this module. As we said last time, ARP spoof command or module, it will make us the man in the middle just to start capturing all the traffic going between the end user and the router. So after we enable this, let's go back to the modules. So this is running now. Then the next one, the cablets. So if we use, so to show the cablets, just we need to write cablets.show. So for this we are going to use this HTS hijack. So to use it, just we need to write it as is, HTS, just press tab and it will write. Okay, then we'll go back again to help. The next one, it's HTTPS proxy. So let's go inside it. help HTTPS proxy, enter. For inside this we need to enable this parameter before enabling this module. This is the one, SSL strip. So we need to set it to true. True. Then we'll enable this module. Then we'll go back to the modules to double check. Yes, it's running. After that, we'll use net.sniff to start sniffing the traffic. Not.sniff. Enter. Sorry, I forgot on. Okay. So now if I went to my PC and let's say I was using Disney, then I just refresh the page. See, it was here using HTTPS. Then if I enable it, this caplet and this command which we have run in the Meterpreter, it will just downgrade the HTTPS protocol to HTTP for us to be able to capture the traffic. But always this will take some time to respond. So these days, most of the browsers, Chrome and Firefox, are patching their web browsers, so it will be difficult to sniff the HTTPS. By the way, there is 3 types of protocols for browsing the internet. We have the HTTP, which already we have sniffed its traffic because it's easy and just it's moving in the network without any encryption. The second one is the HTTPS, and the third one is HSTS, which most of the social media websites are using, like Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram and Twitter. So for that it's very difficult to sniff the data, because even if you try to downgrade the HTTPS to HTTP or the HSTS protocol to HTTP, those browsers will force this website to run in HTTPS, so it will be just encrypted. So let's try another website. So some browsers, it will do just like that to prevent you to reach it. And if you notice that if you go back, let's say we'll go to Google again and search for any other website. Let's say we'll go to Zoo. Any website using HTTPS. So let's say this one. So when we are trying to access this website, here it's telling attackers might be trying to steal your information. So if the user still want to go and press proceed, if you go back to Kali Linux, you can notice that Meterpreter is trying to spoof. This is the certificate, just to let the website feel this certificate is genuine. See here, and it's telling couldn't fetch the TLS certificate from this website. So it's not easy to capture HTTPS traffic or HSTS traffic, but for that, after gaining the access to the user PC, I'll show you another way to capture the key strokes and run a keylogger sniffer. So let's try the same on Windows 10. Let's try this time with Mozilla Firefox, and you can see that it's difficult. So let's try Disney as well. See here again, it's telling Google has a security policy called HTTP Strict Transport Security, HSTS, which it will not allow you to go and bypass it. Okay, for this, to bypass this issue, you have 2 ways: either to gain the access to the user PC and run a keylogger sniffer, or to use a tool called SSL strip, but that's an advanced way. And in the lecture of gaining the access to the target PC, I'm gonna show you how to run a keylogger sniffer to capture every key the user press, whether in HSTS or any other protocol. Hello again. After we have seen how to capture the HTTP and HTTPS traffic,
In this lecture I'd like to show you how to spoof the DNS. So again we will use Meterpreter, but this time we will change the interface. In the previous attack we were doing the attacks to the ATH0 because it's the default interface. If you write only Meterpreter and press enter, then it will pick the ATH0 with this IP. Let's see if I write fconfig. So this 10.0.2.6, it's here, so it's the ATH0. But if I want to pick this WLAN 0 to start sniffing the data from, first of all I need to connect to the wireless, to my Wi-Fi network. Then I have to write like that, Meterpreter ---- interface and WLAN 0, enter. Sorry, here it's Meterpreter. Okay, so now the IP has changed, we can notice here. So what's DNS spoof? DNS spoof, if we have any website, this website has an IP. So if you want this website to be redirected to your Kali machine, you have to tell the Meterpreter tool to spoof this website and forward it to my Kali machine. So in case I requested any website like wifite or anything, so our Kali machine web server or web page will appear. So normally before starting the DNS spoof, let me show you how to start the web server in Kali Linux. Just you need to write service Apache 2, this is the name of the web server, then start. Okay, so what's our wireless IP? 192.168.8.104. so if I go to my PC and try to log in, so this is Apache 2 Debian default page. This is the default page of the web server here. Okay, so we need to start spoofing the DNS. Now if you go to Meterpreter again, help. Okay, so we need to start this DNS spoof, and as usual just we need to write help DNS spoof, enter. Here we need to spoof all the DNS requests, so we need to enable this, and here we need to specify which domain we want to attack. Okay, so let's start with this. We'll use set DNS.spoof.all, true, and the target DNS.spoof.domains. So here we can specify any domain, so let's take our weevil.info, and I can take something else. Let's say this one. Okay, so these two things, and I can separate between them with comma as mentioned here. Comma separated values. Okay, so I'll press enter. So I forgot to put set here. Set, enter. Okay, then as usual we'll make DNS spoof on, enter. Okay, so here it's telling me if anyone requested this website, it will be forwarded to my Kali machine, and the same traffic for this another website, it will be forwarded to my Kali machine. So we need to run the spoof first. As we learn, set arp.spoof.full duplex true. Set arp-spoof.target. Our target is my PC. Targets 192.168.8.102. Set arp.spoof local true. Then arp.spoof on. Let's try now. If I go to Google and try weevil.info, after enabling the DNS spoof, we need to wait a little for the new configuration to be broadcast, and it's always recommended to clean the history. Okay, let's see here. Help, the spoof and DNS spoof is running. You can run that cabinet. Let's try again. See, after some time, after requesting this website, start, and here you can see start sending the spoof DNS reply to this one, to this website, and the same for this one. But it will take a little time, then it will work fine. See here, sending spoof DNS reply to evil. So the DNS spoofing attack will help in many ways or in many scenarios, such as, let's say, Weevil website. When we are trying to access it, it's being forwarded to our Kali Linux web server. We can configure our Kali Linux web server to view another page and to show a fake Weevil or a copy of that website, but embedding a backdoor, let the target feel that it's just genuine and to use it, and we will gain the access. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to start generating your own backdoor to send it to your target to gain access to his PC or to his server easily. Hello again. In today's lecture, I'm going to show you how to start generating your own backdoors to be able to gain access to the target computer. So the backdoor is a small file, includes payload, and that payload is the programming code which will open a port in the target machine in order to be able to control that machine. In order to start generating backdoors, we need a tool called Vel, and let me show you how to install it. The latest version of Vel has many bugs, so in order to solve the issue of the latest version, we need to install the previous version first, then we need to install the latest version, then it will work fine. So let me show you how. So the previous version name is Veal Evasion. So just open the web browser and write Veal Evasion, and you will get it through GitHub, as we know. Then clone the URL as usual. Just go to the command line and make sure to go to the OPT folder where you are supposed to install all the third-party applications. Then write GitHub and the URL. After pressing enter, it will start installing, and it will take some time. I have already done it just to save the time. After completing the install, you need to go again to the web browser, and this time just write Veal GitHub without evasion, just vil. Go again to the GitHub, clone the URL, again to the shell, and do the same. Git clone and the URL, enter. Also it will take time. Then after finishing, if you go inside the OPT folder, you will find two directories. We will go first to the vil evasion, so cd vil evasion, enter. Then when you try to run the vil evasion.python file, it will not run. Let me show you. Enter. It will tell you there is some necessary components or necessary dependencies, so just run this one, just copy from here, bash and this file, enter, then it will install. And after it finish, just go back to the OPT folder and go to vil this time, first one without evasion, and inside it you need to go to the config to install the missing dependencies, cd config, and inside it you need to run the setup file in this way. Just write bash setup.sh, then force silent, and this force silent argument, it's from the main website. If you go down here, they are recommending you to run it like this with force silent here. So if you don't want to write bash, just you can put /. So you can come here and just write /, enter. Also it will take time. After it finish, you can go back to the vil where it's the latest version. Just go inside and run vil, enter, and here we go. This is the tool running. If you face any issues with installation, please write to me in the question part and I will reply to you as soon as possible. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to use this tool to start generating your own backdoors. Hello again. After we have seen how to install vil tool, let me show you today how to use it to start generating your own backdoors. So as usual, as we said, we will go first to the OPT folder where we are supposed to install all the third-party applications. cd opt, then cd vil, then vil.py. Okay, here we go. So after running the tool, this is the main screen. It's telling us these are the available commands. Exit to completely exit the tool, info to get an information about a specific tool, list to list the available tools to be used, options to show vil configuration, update to update the vil, which is very important, always update it just to be up to date, because you are creating a viruses or a backdoor, and this backdoor shouldn't be detected by antivirus, so this update is very important. And use to use a specific tool. And if we have seen here, we have also two tools, the evasion and ordinance. Evasion is the tool we are going to use to create our backdoors, and ordinance is the tool used to generate the payload which is inside the backdoor. Let's start with list. So it's showing us two tools, and to use a specific tool, just we need to use
command with its serial number, then use 1. And these are the commands related to this tool. It's showing us this vil evasion menu. It has 41 payloads loaded. These 41 payloads, through them we can generate our backdoor. Let's start with list again. List. Those are the payloads available. To generate a backdoor from those payloads, we need to choose one. So let me choose this one. This payload is written in Go programming language, and it's using Meterpreter, the Metasploit attack framework, which can provide us with an interactive shell to gain the access to the target machine. And here it's written with reverse HTTP, and reverse means this backdoor, after generating it and after running it from the target machine, it will connect to our Kali machine. So we are not going to do inbound attack, it will be outbound from the target machine to our Kali machine. And this way it's the most safe way to bypass the firewalls and antiviruses and all security layers. So this payload number is 14. So to use it, we need to go and use 14. Enter. As we come to see now, these are the available commands for this payload. So to show the options related to this, just write options. Okay. So here we need to change some options, then write generate to generate the payload or the backdoor. So let's start with the lhost. The lhost, it should be our Kali machine IP, and to get our IP, and as you know, just you need to write fconfig, and this is our Kali machine IP. So we'll just put it here. So to change any option, we'll use set option or set command here. Set, and the name of the option, lhost, it's case sensitive, so caps lhost, and the IP .8.104. Enter. So it's set, and we will change the port. You can choose any port, but for us, since we are going to run the web server on this machine, we'll choose 8080. So again, we'll use set port and 8080. Enter. Okay. So what we need to change here also, the processors. So the minimum number of processors to be used by this payload or this backdoor is 1. Set processors to 1, and we can use sleep. It's the sleeping second before running. So let's use set sleep to, let's say, 6 or 5. Enter. Okay. After we are happy with this configuration, let's write generate. Enter. And here it's asking us to give it a name. So let's say we'll give it reverse HTTP. Enter. It's running now. Okay, it's showing us it's already done, and the executable file is written to this place. So let's copy this and see if really this has been generated. We'll go to the File Explorer. We'll put it here. Enter. Yes, we can see it's here. Now this one, this file, this backdoor, we need to move it to the target machine by different ways. Let's say by email, by accessing it physically and put it on a flash drive and keep it there, by changing its exe extension to a file or PDF or document just to cheat the target. There is many ways to move this file to the target machine. Once it runs, I'll show you in the next lecture how to start listening to the ports specified in your Kali machine. Then you can know this file has been opened in the target machine and you can start gaining access. Hello again. In the last lecture, I have shown you how to generate the backdoor. In this lecture, I'd like to show you how to use it and how to start listening to this backdoor if the target machine has opened it. So we need to go to command line as usual, and we need to use for this purpose Metasploit framework, MSF console. So this is a very useful tool. So this is the main screen for the tool, and to start listening to the backdoor you have already generated, the first thing you need to write is use exploit multi-handler. Enter. Then here, if you write help, you can see the options which you can use for this. So for example, let's write options to display the options we have. Options. The first thing we need to configure in this tool is the payload. So as you remember, in the last time we have used Meterpreter reverse HTTP, so we have to use it here. So we need to write set payload, the payload name Windows Meterpreter reverse HTTP. Then if we write now options again, you can find this. If you want to see all the modules names, so you can just write set payload, and you can tab twice the tab button. So it's telling, do you want to display all the 519 possibilities? Yes, just for you to see which payload you want to use according to your previous usage, whether you are trying to hack an Android, Apple, or Windows, or whatever, or Windows. So for our backdoor we have chosen Windows Meterpreter reverse. Then here we'll write options. So now it's asking us to change the L host and L port as we have done. As usual, we'll use set to change the options, L host, and here it's not case sensitive. You can write just anything. L host, and it's the IP of the Kali machine, 104. And to make sure it is 104, just write ifconfig. And this is the one. Okay, enter. Then we need to change the port. Last time I have chosen 8080, but for some reason it stopped working, so I have changed it to 4444. You can choose just any port. So we need to do the same, set L port 4444, enter. Now again, if we write show options, so now it's done as we need it.
Then we write exploit to start listening to the file. Let's say my Windows machine is the target machine. So if the target user open this file, what you can see here, the session started, and let's say we want to know the system information. Just we need to write sysinfo. So here we go. We have just accessed the machine, and through Meterpreter we can do many cool things, and I'll show it to you in the next lecture.
Hello again. After we have seen in the last lectures how to create a backdoor and how to start listening to it, let me show you today how to move this backdoor from one machine to another, to a virtual machine in the VirtualBox, and we'll start to get some new commands for the file system and other tasks. The easiest way is to put it in the web server directory, to move it through the web server web page. Normally, after we generate the backdoors, it will be in this folder under file system, var, then libraries, then under vil, then under the output, compiled. These are the backdoors which I have already created, and the last one I create is this one under 8080 port and the IP 192.168.8.101. So just you need to copy this and you need to put it in the web server directory under var, then www under HTML. Just make a directory here or a folder and just give it any name. Let's say cool, and keep the backdoor inside. Now if you go to the target machine, to Windows 10, just open the web browser and go to the Kali machine IP and put the folder name after this. Then you can see this one. Just one click and you can download it. Hello everyone. After we have seen in the last lecture how to generate a backdoor and how to move it to the target machine, let me show you today some commands to use after gaining the access to the target machine. Let me just show you another way of generating a backdoor. So if we go to vil, okay, as we have seen before, this time I'm gonna choose different protocol. Let's use 7 reverse TCP. Then just we need here to put the L host and L port. So the L host is my Kali machine IP, and we can make sure from here this is the one, and we can choose any port. Let's say 8585, and that's it. Generate. Let's give it any name, and this file will be very small comparing to the method we used in the first time. So if we go to the file explorer, this is the one, and as we said, and just we need to move it to the web server directory to be able to open it from the target machine. Just in our lab, in the real life scenarios, you can send this file by email, by social media, by any method. So under HTML, under cool, just paste it here. If you go to the Windows 10 machine now, let me keep both machines opened in front of me. If I write the IP of Kali machine and we'll put slash the folder. Okay, this is the one. And here, before running the file, we'll go to the MSF console and set payload. Here we have chosen 7. So 7, it's reverse TCP. Okay, so we'll put Windows, Meterpreter, reverse underscore TCP, then options to modify the options, and we have the L host correct, just we need to set the L port, then exploit, and here let's run the file. And here we go. Now if we want to know system information, just we can write sysinfo. If we check it here, properties, MS Edge Windows 10, MS Edge Windows 10, it's 64-bit, yes, it's 64-bit here, it's workgroup, and logon users, there is 2, and the Meterpreter version running on this machine, it's x86. Now let's see another cool comments here. If you write help, as we used to do, you can find many options for the comments. So let's start with background. The background, what it will do, it will just keep the session in the background, and it will send me back to the multi-handler to do some comments. So here the session is not closed, just it's in the background, and if I want to see how many sessions I have, just I can write sessions -L. So here it's telling me it's only one session, and if I want to go back to the session, just I can write sessions -I for interaction, and number 1, the ID, enter. Again, I'm inside the session. If I go to help again, you can write the IP config or ifconfig just to know the configuration of the target machine. You can see here it has 2 network interfaces, one the loop pack and one with this IP and this subnet mask, and which is very useful information to use to target this machine and to target other machines through this machine, which called pivoting. By the way, if you tried ipconfig or ifconfig, both are the same. Okay, so let's take another command. If you write quit, just you quit the session. Let me take another file system commands. If you write cat, if you want to open any folder, similar to Kali Linux commands. If you write pwd print working directory, you are under downloads. If you write list, ls, it will just show you what's inside this. So if you want to, if there is any text file here, let's just create a text file. And let's write anything inside.
Okay, again ls, and this is the file. So if you want to open it, just write cat and write the name, enter. You can see what's inside it. Hello to my course. And if you write shell, let's take another command. So here I don't want to spend much time, but any command you can see here, you can see its description. The cool thing here, you can start capturing the keystrokes. So if I write keyscan start, enter. So previously we have faced an issue in capturing the HTTPS and the HTTPS protocols. So after enabling the keystroke sniffer, even if you go to Facebook or any website, all the keystrokes you write, it will be captured. This is very cool feature. So let's say we'll go to Facebook. And we'll write, let's write my email. And the password, I'm just putting any password. Enter. So what will happen here, if I just write keyscan dump, enter, it will tell you I have just go to Facebook, then I have opened Google to search for Facebook in English, then I wrote my username at Hotmail and the password. So it's very nice feature. Another nice feature here is the camera. So if you want to capture the camera stream to play a video stream from the specified webcam, but here there is no webcam, but if you try it, you will just open the camera of your target machine. You can record the mic, you can have a snapshot, a screenshot from his screen to see what he's doing. So let's say I have just tried screenshot here, enter. It will tell me under root we have this picture. So if we go to root, see, this is the picture. So this is how to do some commands to gain the access after running the backdoor in the target machine. Hello again. In this lecture I'd like to show you how to spoof the extension of the backdoor we have generated. So in order to start spoofing the extension to any other extension, to a JPG or PDF or any other document extension, you need one application called Outputof. To download that one, we need to go to the web browser and just write Outputof download. And this is the main website, Outputof script. If you go down, just click here to get the latest version, save. Okay, I have already done it. Then if you go to the command line, just go to the opt, list the contents. This is the file. Just write wine and the file name exe. If you don't have wine tool, just write apt-get as usual, install wine. This tool will be installed when we installed vil evasion. It will be installed with it, but if it's not there, just use apt-get install and install it. Now if you run it, wine and the file name, enter, then it will
just show the wizard similar to the Windows one. Just you need to press next, 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 and take the default options, and then it will finish. I have already done it just to save the time. After finishing, now we have the tool where we can use to start spoofing the extension file. The first step is we need to merge this file with icon file, and to do that, first of all, we need to use a script to download the backdoor and the icon image we want to download it. So from the GitHub page, we can find this auto download executable. AU3, this is the extension of Auto8 application. So just copy this one as is and go to any text file. Just create a text file, create document, give it a name, any name, let's call it auto8.txt, enter. Now let's open it with leafpad. If you don't have leafpad text editor, just use apt-get install leafpad and you will get it. And let's paste here. Now this script, it's asking us to put a URL and another URL here, separating between them with commas. The first URL, it will be for the picture we want to use it as an icon. So if let's say I went to web browser again to choose any picture, let's say I'll use a flower picture. Let's say I'll use this one or this one, whatever. After getting the picture here, just right click, view image, just to make sure we have at last a GPG extension. We'll copy this URL and we'll keep it in the text script here. And the next URL, it will be for our backdoor. So it will be here. It will be in the web browser. I don't want to take it from OPT. Let's take it from the web server directory, because if I want to connect remotely to download it. So let's take boom. So this is the URL here. Instead of taking the URL here, I need to use the IP of the Kali machine. So here just I need to use HTTP and the IP of my machine. Just let's double check what's the IP of my machine. fconfig, okay, 105. And the folder name, then boom.exe. If I want to test this link if it's working or not, just I need to copy it and put it in the web browser of the Kali machine, enter. Why it's showing like that? Because I need to start the web service. Just I write service Apache 2 start, then I can reach the web server directory. Then if I go again here and press enter, yes, I can download the file now. Okay, so this is working. So here our auto script is ready. Just I need to save it as is. Yes, then I need to change its name from Auto8 to AU3, similar to this extension here as we have seen in the script. .AU3 it should be. Okay, then rename. If we go to desktop now, the symbol of this file will change. Then we need an icon to merge this file with the icon. We'll take that photo which we have already chosen, this one. Let's say I want to save it on desktop with any name, save. Then I'll go to web browser, just I'll convert this to icon, or I can go directly and download an icon from any website. There is a lot of websites to download icons from. Convert to ICO, Image Online Converter. Let's choose a file. Under desktop, pictures of flowers. It's uploaded. Then we can just start conversion. Okay, now our icon file is ready. Save. If we check it, ICO, it's there. Okay, pictures of flower. Just I'll rename it to something smaller. Flower. Enter. Okay, now I'll go to AutoIt. Just write compiler. We'll compile this script to exe. So it's asking me where is AU3 file. It's on desktop here, and the destination where this output will be, I'll just keep it as is under root, and it will just generate a new file under this name. And the icon file, flower.icon, open. Okay, after selecting the flower icon, just we need to press convert, and here is the file. So if I take this file, let's say to my PC, so you can see it looks like a picture, just remaining to change this exe extension to JPG. This is the first step or the first phase. In the next lecture I'll show you how to change the extension to keep the file looks like a JPG file. Hello again. So after we have merged the icon file with the backdoor, let me show you how to change this from AutoIt.exe to AutoIt.jpg. Just let's rename this file. To do this, we are going to use a character, a special character, just to make the characters look as it's from right to left. Let me show you what does this mean practically. If you go here and write characters, normally in Kali 2020 you will not find this. So what you have to do, you need to go to the command line again and write apt-get install GNOME character. Sorry, it's characters. So just you need to write apt-get install GNOME characters. Already I have done it, so it's saying it's already installed and I already have the newest version. If you didn't install this, you will not find it here. So after opening the characters here, just you need to search for right to left, right to left, this one. Just click on it and copy this character. Then if you go to the file again, AutoIt, after the indicator, you want this part to look like it's from right to left. Just put the indicator in between, gpj.exe. Then I have to paste this here. Then it look like exe.gbg. And if I want to just make it to look real, just let's say I will just write something to end with exe. Just let's keep it like this and press rename. So if anyone see this, he will think it's a GPG file. It's recommended also to just compress it in order to keep the file looks like as is, because some websites while downloading this they will remove the special characters. So what you need to do is just compress it and you have it here. So if I took this file to my PC here and try to unzip it, so it will look like this one. So if anyone double click it, it will just open a picture file. So it's not only changing the extension of a file, it's also embedding an icon file inside this exe. So if anyone open it, you can go to the Metasploit console and you can gain the access. Hello everyone. This lecture will be the one before the last. In this lecture, I'd like to show you how to let the backdoor you have generated to work outside of your network. Let me show you the steps. So if we go to vil to generate a virus or to generate a backdoor, so as usual we'll use one, then we'll see the list. Let me take just 7 for example. This is a simple one, reverse TCP. So we'll tell you 7. After that we'll set the L host and L port. Set L host. This IP should be your public IP, not your Kali Linux IP. So to check your public IP, just go to your web browser and write what's my IP, and this website, what's my IP address. So this is your public IP. Just you need to copy this. You need to copy this as is and put it in Kali Linux. Here, this is the L host. Previously we were using Kali Linux IP. That was because we want the backdoor to work in our network, but since we want this backdoor to work outside of our network, we need to use our public IP. Then we need to set the L port. We can keep it 444 or we can use anything else. So let's say we'll use 4444 as is. Okay, then generate. Enter. We'll give it any name. Let's call it outside. Now after generating this one, we need to configure our router to forward any requests comes to 4444 ports to Kali Linux machine. So let's do it. Let me show you my router. Every router has a different way to enable IP forwarding. So let me show you my router. So if we go to web browser again, connection settings, under virtual server, under security, under virtual server, you need to add any name, then the port you want to receive the connections from outside to. This is the IP of Kali Linux machine. So if we go to Kali Linux by ifconfig, it's 192.168.8.105. So we'll use it here and we'll put the same port for LAN, and the protocol is TCP, and the status on, then OK. Now my router is ready to receive connections from outside. If I send this generated backdoor to my target PC through any media or by any way, once he opened the file or once he opened the backdoor, the connection will come to my router and my router will forward it to my Kali machine. So now if we press apply, OK, we can go to Kali Linux and run Metasploit framework, and here we'll use the same method as usual. Just we need to listen to the Kali Linux IP, not to the public IP. So as usual we'll use exploit multi-handler. So here use exploit multi-handler. Then we'll set the payload to be reverse TCP. Windows Meterpreter. Then reverse TCP, as we have seen in val here, reverse TCP. Then we'll show options, and we'll set the lhost to Kali machine host. It's 192.168.8.105, and the port is as is. So if we show options again, now it's ready. Now we can write exploit, and if the target open this file, you are gonna gain the access. Now if your router was different from my router, just you can Google how to enable IP forwarding. Just go to web browser and write IP forwarding and put the model of your router. So for me, I'm using Huawei, and if you click on system, you can find the device information. This is my model, and for you, just you can search for IP forwarding and keep your model. Hello everyone. In today's lecture, I'd like to explain to you how to protect yourself from the already mentioned attacks. So let's start with the wireless ones. So regarding the authentication attack, unfortunately there is no way to protect yourself against this type of attack, but in the new advanced routers there is a feature that can protect you from this deauthentication attack. Just you need to check with the router suppliers. Regarding the protection which you are going to use for your Wi-Fi network, as we said, there is 3 types: WEP, WPA and WPA2, and currently there is WPA3 as well. To keep yourself protected, don't use WEP. This is the only way to protect yourself against the WEP attacks, because as we have seen, using the wifite tool can crack the WEP password easily. Don't connect to any open Wi-Fi network unless you know this Wi-Fi network and it is trusted to you, because it may be a honeypot and there is a hacker behind it. Third thing, to avoid the Fluxion attack, which we have seen previously, inform your family members not to connect to the Wi-Fi network with similar SSID or similar Wi-Fi name, because if they have connected, it will show a web page to them and they will put a password on the web page and the hacker can get the password. And to keep yourself protected against the Wordlist or brute force attack or dictionary attack, just please use 16 characters password. The length of the password to be 16 character, including uppercase letters, lowercase letters, symbols and numbers. In this case, it will be impossible for any hacker to crack it. Now regarding the PC protection, you need to use XARP to notify you if there is any man-in-the-middle attack in your network, or if there is anyone trying to do ARP poisoning or ARP attack. To download this XARP application, just go to Google and write XARP, and here there is advanced ARP spoofing protection. Click on download and download the version for your operating system. After downloading this, the main page or the interface for XARP, it is like this. So what XARP will do is it will scan your network to show you the IP of devices, the MAC address and the host names, and at the same time you can specify the security level you want, basic or high or aggressive. Even if it's on basic, and if anyone try to do ARP attack to your PC, it will notify you. So let me show you one thing. If we run Kali, So in Kali Linux, if we run the command line and through BetterCap we'll try just to do an ARP attack just to see if the XARP will notify us or not. So just as we have seen previously, we'll go to help and help arp.spoof. Okay, let's run this just to be the man in the middle. Okay, then arp.spoof on. What we can see here, if we just restart this to double check if there is something wrong on our network, see, ARP attacks detected. As we have explained before, the MAC address of your machine and of the router machine, it will change. Okay, so this is XARP. It will notify you, but it will not protect you from the XARP. So whenever you have got notification, just disconnect your PC from the network. Okay, this is regarding XARP. Now if we go back to our slides, so you can use XARP tool to notify you regarding any ARP attacks or ARP poisoning or any man-in-the-middle attack. The second thing, and to protect your internet traffic, make sure to install the latest web browser versions like Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, and always please make sure to update your browser. Let's say for Chrome, you can make sure it's updated from here, then help, then about Google Chrome, and this will start updating itself and it will tell it's up to date. And for Mozilla it's the same. You can go to Mozilla Firefox and just check the help menu and there is update. Then from about Firefox you can check if it is up to date or not. Okay, then third thing here, whenever you have received a file through email or through social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or don't trust this file, especially when you receive it from unknown senders. And the first thing you need to do, you need to check the properties. You can remember how we have spoofed the exe file, the flower file, and we have made it, instead of exe file, we made it JPG, just to look like as a flower, and even if you double click it, you will find it as a JPG file. But whenever you have received a file and you download it to your PC, just right click before opening and go to properties and check the type of the file. So here it will show it's exe, not a JPG or any other document type. So this is number one. Number two, if you have seen here a document, PDF, whatever type you have found here, what you need to do is, if you have a doubt, just you can go to hybrid analysis website, go to Google and write hybrid analysis. You'll get this website. Just drag and drop your file here and you will get a direct. I have already done it. See, this is flower exe, which is the same name of this file, and you will get a complete report about it, just to tell it's malicious file, and the antivirus detection, it will be 62% of it. And from these indicators you can see this is not a good file or a clean file, and you have just to be careful and not to open it. Okay, just don't open any file from unknown resources. If you open it, as we have seen in the previous lectures, the hacker can get access to your PC within seconds. Thank you. Please just don't misuse the information you already have got. Please be the white hat hacker, not the gray or the black ones. Thank you and stay safe.